What is up, everybody? I am back with the Ka-Fi InnoTrends Dashlinq4 system, and I want to go through some interface features with you today. So as you notice, this is the main interface. It's pretty attractive. I really like it. I like this cool little scrolling feature. I like how the buttons are very large and easy to access. So you can get to your navigation, all your media sources, things like that. You got this cool little clock widget here that you can switch back and forth if you want, but it will also show you current information on your sources. So if I have the radio playing and I go back, it'll show me some current information about the radio station. I can click on it, it takes me back to the radio station, things like that. Still need to test it out with the USB and the SD card. Be awesome to see some metadata information in here as far as what's playing and whatnot, so you don't have to go into the source, you can just kind of look at it. But also you have a secondary interface. If this isn't your cup of tea, you have kind of your standard interface, and right around here you can pretty much tap anywhere and it will take you to more of a standardized Android interface, which is very nice. You can substitute this launcher with any launcher you want from the Play Store, which is great if this doesn't satisfy you. But the launcher itself is actually really nice. I like the big buttons. There is no app drawer. Everything is accessed from the home screen, which makes it more convenient in my opinion and makes it easier to use in the car while you're driving. Which shouldn't be doing too much of, but everybody does. So the other thing is they have changed this notification window. They made some really some larger buttons as far as the home screen goes, and the menu button and the back button. Obviously you can get to most of those things for you. The hardware buttons is great, but it's always good to have multiple options. I always find myself getting to things in different ways, not always necessarily the same way, even though I have one that I might like more than the others. This is the notification shade. I really like the fact that they added these quick navigation, quick buttons up here, which is great. So you can change the brightness, which is cool. You can turn the Wi-Fi on and off, change the volume for, if you need to. Restart the unit and put the unit in standby, as well as, volume controls. This button up here is a little bit small. I wouldn't imagine you'd be trying to get to this while you're driving, and you probably shouldn't be trying to get to it while you're driving. But it's just one of those convenience things, I guess. Sometimes the notification shade is kind of hard to pull down and put back up, mainly because this bezel is here. And again, probably wouldn't be doing that while you're driving, but it is kind of one of those convenience things. The Parrot Asteroid Smart Unit that I have in my car right now has the ability to just click on the notification shade and it will pull down, and then click on it again and it will go back up, which is a nice feature. You really don't want to be trying to do this too much, so that would be handy possibly in the future. The other thing is it comes with all your standard, they look like widgets or shortcuts, but really these are your applications, so you won't be able to delete them because there is no app drawer. But if you want to disable them, you can disable them from the settings, which is a really convenient feature. There's a lot of things like this car calendar that I wouldn't necessarily use because I can't, it doesn't synchronize with anything. I can't add events to it. It's mainly just for looking at days and seeing what days there are. So, funny enough, it doesn't let me disable that one, but some of the other ones like the email and the photos and things that I wouldn't use I can disable, which is nice and convenient for me. The Play Store is here, so you can download third-party apps, maybe third-party calendars or whatever you might use to get features you would use. One thing that would be really nice that I would like to see in the future, because these units do take so long to set up with all your apps that you like and things like that, if there was kind of a marketplace, not necessarily, but a place where maybe users added apps that they found useful, and they could, put some reviews on them and things that would make adding these applications that are known to be working on this unit and are recommended for this unit for things for your car. That would just make them easier to find, easier to install, make your unit easier to set up in general, quicker. Really, I have this sitting on my bench right now because I don't want to be in my truck trying to set all this stuff up where I don't get Wi-Fi access in my driveway, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time setting it up. So that would be useful in the future. As far as everything else, you have your browser, all your steering wheel setup controls, things like that. Everything's very fluid. I haven't had any slowdowns with it. Easy to access, all that goodness. So I really haven't had too many issues with the interface. If there are any issues, I can easily, exchange it for whatever I want. So there's really no problem with that. Really quick, I want to talk about something that I thought was pretty important and I skipped over really fast, and that is this feature that they added in for a screensaver. You can manually access it, just shows your time widget here in big letters. You can click on it to dim the screen, click on it to bring it back. Also, if you go to the home screen, I set it up to dim it only at nighttime. Like when the dimmer feature is active. After a timeout period, say 2 minutes, whatever you decide to set, it will pop up that time widget with just a black screen and be very dim. So I think that's pretty important, just because these head units can obscure your view at nighttime a little bit because they are so bright. So I think that's a really awesome feature to add in there, and a lot of people find it very convenient. So that's that.